Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Raj here, and today we are going to be covering iOS 14 Developer Beta 5. I'm sorry this video is late. I've been just doing a ton of stuff recently, from like work to reading my books that I need to, and just a bunch of other stuff too. So I'm sorry about that, but today we're going to finally be getting around to it, which is great. So let's launch into settings and let's check out the update, shall we? So as you can see there, it is 1.45 gigabytes. That's pretty large, I would say. That is very large. So let's go into this update and let's have it install. If I can even enter my password incorrectly. Now it's just going to come up with terms and conditions, of course, and you guys can see this on screen as well, so I don't know why I'm showing you guys like that, but yeah, you guys can see that on screen, so I'll just agree to those terms and conditions, and now it's going to request the update, so that will be nice. But yeah, I mean, so far, if I were to rate my experience on Beta 4, it's been decent, but there has been a fair few amount of things that I will say that I wish were improved. For example, battery life. Battery life has been okay, but it's not been the best, of course. And, you know, battery life is always the thing that Apple gets to last. They try and perfect the features first, but then after that, they improve battery life. So, I mean, it's not really something that I'm complaining about a lot. But it would be nice to maybe have a little bit more battery life, because I know, yes, my battery is quite old now. It's at 79% degradation, so, and it even says it needs to be serviced. So that's one other thing too, actually. And sorry, I just had to swipe a notification away. But yeah, so basically that is one thing there. The other thing too is that really, if you just think about it, there's, like, basically so many things Apple still needs to actually fix, but, you know, I mean, Beta 5, I will say, is probably going to be pretty decent, from the looks of it. But let's see, though. And, actually, while that is updating, I'm going to show you guys how my battery life has been. So, of course, there is the service warning there. I still need to wait for an Apple Store to open in order to get my battery replaced. But as you can see there, there's most of my stats there for the last 10 days. I'm going to show you that instead. So I've been getting an average screen on time about 8 hours, 51 minutes, but that has not been on a single charge. Keep that in mind. That has been for about 3 or 4 charges throughout the day. So that's what I have to do to keep this phone charged, is I have to charge it about 3 or 4 times a day in order to keep it basically going. And as you can see there, my usage around like Wednesday, it peaked quite a bit. So, and it was about 17 hours and 43 minutes, which is ridiculous. So yeah, as you guys can see there, I'm a pretty heavy user. I use my phone a lot, which is not necessarily a good thing, but you know, it is what it is. At least in terms of my usage. But as you can see here, there's my activity. So YouTube, I spent a long time on. Same thing with FaceTime. Home and lock screen, obviously that would be a long time. Snapchat, a long time. Yeah, so really if you just also scroll through the rest of this, Twitter, 9 hours, Safari, 4 hours, Instagram, 7 hours, Telegram, 4, almost 4.5 actually. Instagram Threads, about 4 hours, 15 minutes. Then you have the App Store, news, stocks, which was about 2 hours because I was watching Apple's stocks. So, but yeah, so that's basically that. And yeah, so I'm just going to scroll through. Oh, oops. I was about to say I'm going to scroll through the rest of it, but it kind of jumped away from me there. So I just have to wait for it to reload here. Yep, so I'm just going to go quickly through this because that's basically what I'm going to do there. Yep, so basically that's all of my app usage, if you guys wanted to know. But let's check on the update. Looks like it's just preparing. And instead of cutting this video, I'm just going to just keep it all in one piece because it's a lot easier for me, at least, when I'm editing this. And it's already going pretty fast, so there's not really a need to cut it like that. But yeah, so basically, what I'm also going to show you guys too is the amount of storage that my phone has left, because it's pretty funny. I have almost, I'd say about 11 gigabytes, so not that much, honestly. It's just insane how much my storage is full, basically. And most of that is just pictures. Most of it's pictures and videos. A small fraction of it is apps, of course, which I'll show you guys how many apps I have. But yeah, basically these are all the apps I have installed on here, as you can see. Some of them are not, I guess you could say, installed. Like, for example, this app called Instadown. That's not installed. I'll just reinstall that, because why not? It's only like 300 megabytes. But then, yeah, that's basically all of them there. The smallest app I have is TestFlight, which I also need to reinstall. But then, as you can see there, my other storage, it's not that bad. It's about 3.73 gigabytes. The system's only taking up about 8.45. That's not bad at all. So let's now go back, and let's also, again, take a look at the update. So yeah, it looks like we're about halfway there. But yeah, so basically that is sort of, I guess, a synopsis of basically, what's the term? That's basically the synopsis of, like, what has been sort of my experience with Beta 4. But honestly, yeah, Beta 4, it's not been that terrible. I mean, I will say that I've had maybe a little bit in terms of overheating issues, but I'd say that's probably, obviously just because it's a developer beta and this is not meant to be run on a daily basis. But I will say, this software is a lot more stable than iOS 13 developer betas were. Those were just a mess. And it's because Apple, obviously, most of you guys know this already, but their software team was not as elegant as it is today. It was very scattered, and it was just, like, you know, not in the best shape, necessarily. So now, of course, that has changed, and that's a great thing it has, because now we get a lot more stable releases. So yeah, basically now we're just waiting on this to update, and while this actually also does update, I'll just talk about some future plans. Now, I'm sorry if I'm rambling on so long, and if it wants to make you click off this video, I'm sorry about that, but I want to also get some things across to you guys. So basically, in terms of, like I did mention a little while back, a break, quote-unquote, that I would be taking. So that is actually probably going to start today. As of filming this video, it's the 20th. You guys probably can't see it that well, but yeah, today's the 20th, and you guys can also probably see it on my, like when I show you, at least on my calendar, on my phone. Excuse me. But basically, yeah, that's sort of what today is. But that's the thing, though, is that I'm trying to just think about, like, when I should actually take this quote-unquote break from YouTube. I'm honestly thinking about doing it maybe, let's see here, because today is the 20th, and I might actually need, let's see, I might only need like a few days, actually. So, I mean, I wouldn't really consider it a break. It's more just like a small little thing. But it might be like maybe within the next few days. I'm probably just not going to post anything, just because I need to work on a lot of other stuff first. But yeah, so I'll just have to think about that, of course. That's most likely what I'm going to do, though, is I'm only probably going to take like 1 or 2 days off from YouTube. That's really about it. Because, I mean, I can't really take any more days off from that, otherwise I'd go insane. But, yeah, so looks like we're about almost 2/3 of the way there, which is not bad at all. Oh, and actually, this is one thing I actually wanted to also show you guys too. This is something that I'm going to add in that's a little newer, I guess you could say. But, essentially, obviously, we always test the benchmarks for these developer betas. So I wanted to show you guys that, basically, or at least like my score from last time. So let me do that real quick. Let's see, let's go to the history. Okay, so this one right here is the score from last video for Beta 4. And it's pretty impressive, I will say. 892 single core and 1966 multi-core. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And keep in mind, this is Geekbench 5. This is not Geekbench 4, for those questioning. It is Geekbench 5. So the metrics are going to be a little bit different, of course, like the way that they test their actual devices. But as you can see there, it's pretty much almost on par with average, I would say. It's a little bit lower, but it's almost on par, which is awesome. And that was Geekbench. Now, Antutu, that told a little bit of a different story. That, from last video, from what I can remember, put my phone in 13th place. And sorry about this ad. I don't know why this app decides to do that. But, basically, that was my results from last time. So basically, these are just, you know, all of the, things there. And I'll show you guys the comparison as well, like to where my phone actually stands, in terms of usage. Let's see. So, ranking, let's go to that real quick. So it looks like the iPad Pro 12.9-inch is still number one, of course, has still the most performance. And then if we go down to the iPhone 10, the actual iPhone 10, the 64 gig iPhone 10, just the average baseline one, is in 16th place, whereas mine was in 23rd. So it was a little bit behind. So I will say that Geekbench and Antutu are probably telling the truth, because my iPhone 10, of course, has aged a little bit, so it's almost 3 years old now. It will at least be, well, this one specifically will be in, on December 22nd precisely, but the actual model itself will turn 3 on November the 3rd this year. So, just a few months away from turning 3. That's actually something I cannot believe, is that I've had this phone for almost 3 years now. That's insane to me. Because my second phone, and even my first phone, I swapped those out after at least like a year and a half. I swapped out my original Samsung Galaxy Note, which was my very first phone. That was a hand-me-down phone from my dad. I actually swapped that out basically after like a year for the iPhone 6S. And then I jumped from the 6S to the 10 in just another year. So, yeah, I think this is probably the longest I've actually had a phone. But it's been a good phone to me, I would say. The iPhone 10 has been outstanding, honestly. And that is why, even though I am getting a new phone, I am going to be keeping it. So, even replacing its battery. Because, I mean, I feel like I can still get some use out of it. And just, you know, not have to actually, like, waste it, basically. So, I can definitely still get some use out of it. But anyways, let's see. I just wanted to like, quickly peep at my notifications there. Looks like my battery is at 79. That's actually not bad. Oh, and also, actually, you know what? While we're actually waiting, I'm going to test the Wi-Fi speeds, because might as well. That'll be good for, like, at least my future self. When I'm uploading this video, I'll be able to compare results, basically, from this. So yeah, let's do that, basically. So it looks like we're getting about almost 230-ish download, which is not bad. Looks like it did go down just a little bit. Yeah. And then upload speeds, let's see what those look like. Now these are the things that actually, well, the upload speeds are the things that matter the most, because that is how much time, basically, or like how much data it's processing per second in terms of actually uploading my video. So it looks like it's running at about 22.3 megabits per second, which is not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. So, that's, yeah, I'd say about pretty average. So let's get rid of that there. Alright. And actually, till then, also, I'll show you guys my home screen, because might as well. I actually did change it a little bit, if you guys didn't notice. So, as you can see there, I have my calendar widget, and as well as some battery widgets there. I have my stocks widget, of course. I have my activity one. I have my clock for my city that I am in. And then in the center here, I have a nice expansive view of the weather. I have reminders. I have all of the clocks that are important to me. I have screen time. I have my batteries again, which it's a more expanded out view. I have my YouTube video stuff so that I can get quick access to that. I have my shortcuts that I've built. I have my fitness, which is a more expanded view, and that's about it for that page. And then up at the top, I have some Siri suggestions, and then I have more widgets. So as you can see here, I have up to, oh, oops, I did not mean to do that. I have up to 10. So here I have an expanded view of the calendar. I have an expanded view of screen time, expanded view of batteries. I have my homework for the day for school, when that starts again. Then I have my savings for my new iPhone, or new phone rather. So that is how much I'm gonna have to save up for that. I kept track of that. It's just an estimated thing, really. And then I have more shortcuts there, an expanded view. I have the weather. I have some news articles that interest me. And then, yeah, that's about it for that page. Then this page is just full of folders. So, yeah, basically that's what that is there. And I'm just going to dismiss that. There we go. But yeah, then you also, of course, have the app library if you're on iOS 14, developer or public betas. And then I have all of these widgets off to the left here on the actual widget panel. I have the stocks, I have batteries, I have fitness, I have just a few suggestions, I have the shortcuts, and then really, yeah, that's about it for those. And then, of course, if you scroll down, you'll see that I have more of them. These are the older style widgets. Yeah, so these are basically just the older style from iOS 13. So yep, that's what that is there. If you guys were wondering, that's what my home screen setup looks like. And if you guys also didn't notice this small detail, when I go back to the home screen, my sort of like the edge-to-edge thing kind of like goes like back in. It's like a nice little animation, if you guys look at it there. And my folders and notifications have like green accents on them, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically what I have there in terms of my setup. I thought I'd show that to you guys just to, you know, pass the time. Because, yeah, basically this update's going to take still a little bit. So yeah, we're basically just waiting on that. And you know what? I'm going to take this time to stretch. Alright guys, we are now back, as you can see, and I am now on iOS 14 Developer Beta 5. So, without further ado, let me show you guys what is new here. So it seems like all of my widgets are intact, which is good. My whole home screen is doing nice and dandy. Let's hit allow there. Already, actually, the OS itself actually feels a little smoother. Oh, and there's a new magnifier thing there. But let's go into the feedback app. Let's go here. So as you can see there, some known issues are updating can take significantly longer than expected, and data loss could occur if the update is interrupted. So that is one thing there. Security bounty, so with Beta 5 it's designated for qualifying for the 50% Apple security bounty bonus payment for issues that are unknown to Apple or reintroduced in this release. See Apple bounty for more information. App clips, that's now here, which is awesome. Control center, some known issues are the airplane mode indicator might not reflect the current airplane mode status and settings. So that is one issue there. Some things here, the App Store no longer quits unexpectedly. So this is resolved in Beta 5. Known issues are, basically that's developer stuff, more developer stuff. Yeah, most of this is just developer stuff. Known issues, beginning in iOS and iPadOS 14, beta fonts including using configuration profiles are only available to apps supporting the APIs, yada yada. Home screen, Spotlight might not appear as expected. The workaround to that is to just restart your device. Let's try Spotlight. Yeah, Spotlight works. Great. And HomeKit, some issues are you might be prompted to use HomePods as a stereo pair whenever you're viewing accessory details if the HomePods are assigned to the same room. I don't have HomePods, so I don't know about that one. Let's see, that's just developer stuff, more developer stuff, mail. Let's see. Some known issues are Exchange OAuth accounts, which require user to re-authentication, such as after restoring your device from a backup, aren't able to re-authenticate. The workaround to that is to remove and re-add the account. Now resolved, Mail can now connect to SMTP servers that support auth login command. Then Mail can now connect to SMTP servers that fully require qualified hostname during HELO. Microsoft Exchange and Outlook accounts now display an error if the wrong account is typed. Type is used during login. Sorry, I stuttered there. Alright, let's see. Maps. Maps no longer quits unexpectedly when launched, which is a resolved thing there. Nearby interaction, that's a developer thing. Notification center. Attachment thumbnails are no longer missing from message notifications. Phone and FaceTime. Control center indicates phone is using the microphone for calls placed over the cellular network, but indicates system for calls placed over the Wi-Fi networks. Then there's Reality Kit, which is developer stuff. Shortcuts, some known issues or automations might not run if they're scheduled immediately one after another. New features in basically Beta 5 is that it uses Core Spotlight. It's basically a developer thing. Searching for timer and tapping suggestions to start a timer now starts a timer as expected. Swift UI, not going to go over that. And then there's some new features here. Color can be converted from CG color, the color picker also, yada yada. That's more developer stuff. Basically most of that is just developer stuff. Let's see, third-party apps, known issues. So apps that are using JSON Kit might quit unexpectedly on launch. Again, that's developer stuff. Then there's the workaround for that. Yeah, so really, honestly, that's most of the stuff here. Let's see, known issues, all widgets must be rebuilt using yada yada yada, as stated here later. Won't run on previous versions. Let's see. And yeah, in terms of my widgets, they shall be fine. Let's see, widgets are now blocked for screen time, when their parent app is blocked. Ooh, that's nice. When the widget is now displayed data in a timely manner, yada yada. 3D touch. 3D touch is now available. This was beta 4. So we don't need to see the rest of that. That's just all beta 4. And then you just can scroll down all the way there. So let's run our customary tests. Let's run our Wi-Fi speed test. Let's see what kind of Wi-Fi speeds we're getting. Alright, looks like it just connected. A ping of 10 milliseconds. That's not bad at all. Looks like we are getting, let's see. It's teetering towards 200, and I'm going to test this 3 times just to get some precision, because this is looking like it is a little bit lower than usual for the download speeds. Upload looks like it's pretty much normal, or at least it's comparable to what beta 4 was. I almost said beta 2. Okay, so we have 193 down, and we have 22.4 up. So let's test that again. So it just has to connect one more time. Now that was a ping of 9 milliseconds. Okay, a little bit faster that time. And it looks like we are now in the 200s. So that first test could have just been a fluke. 211, okay. Now let's check the upload speeds. Seems like upload speeds are relatively the same. Let's see. Looks like it's still going up. Alright, 22.7 up and 211 down. Alright, not bad. Now let's see this. Okay, 12 milliseconds. That was a little bit slower that time. Alright, we are now still in the 200s. So yeah, that first test was definitely a fluke, because yeah, now we're getting 209, so just barely in the 200s. The upload speeds aren't looking too good. Let's see. Oh, looks like it was just a little bit of a thing there at the beginning. Let's see. So it looks like we got to 21, which was not bad. Alright, so that concludes our Wi-Fi speed test. Now let's also check on our battery percentage here. Looks like we're still at 79. That's not terrible. And let's just make sure that that went smoothly. Yes, it did. Great. Now we are going to run our benchmarks. So let's run Geekbench first. And this is just going to take a few minutes. Alright, 401. So it looks like we got a score of 886 and 1155. Ooh, okay. So again, relatively close to the 918 of average. And then multi-core is, yeah, not even close at all, as you can see there, so, unfortunately. And if we look at the history here, it looks like, yeah, looks like Beta 4's performance was a little bit better, so there is a little bit of a hit to performance. It's not something that's super terrible, though, which is good. It's not that bad. Okay, let's go to here, and then is there any rankings, possibly? I need to find out where those are again, because I keep on losing track of actually where those rankings are in terms of single and multi-core performance. Oh, here we go, they're right here. So, single core, let's see. So my single core number was 886, okay. So it's right between the average iPhone 10 and the iPhone 7 Plus. That's not bad. I'm not complaining. And then multi-core, let's see, let's go to that. I got 1155. So that is going to be between the iPhone SE and the iPhone 7. That's funny. Okay. Sorry about that interruption, guys. We are now going to test Antutu. So let's do that real quick. Just have to go to it here. Alright, and we just have to wait for this ad to skip. There it goes. So let's run the test. Oops. Oh, and the app just crashed. Okay, well that's fun. We're going to have to rerun that test. Darn it. Let's see here. I wonder why the app is crashing. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? If it doesn't work this time, then I'm probably just going to say, for this test, that Antutu is basically invalid, because if the phone's not going to run it, then I can't do anything about it, so then at that point I'm just going to have to say that I'm going to have to call it quits, so. Alright, yeah, so looks like it's running this test just fine. But yeah, again, if it lags out again on Terracotta, if it doesn't run it and if it just crashes, then I am for sure going to just end that video here. Or end the video here, rather. But it looks like this time the first test here is going a little bit smoother for you guys, which is good to see. It's not, like, being as stuttery as before. I like how that alien just slaps that sort of camera like that. It's pretty cool. It's hilarious, too. But, yep, looks like we're just rendering all the frames. Now we're about 16% complete. Now we're loading Coastline, which is the second to the last test that the phone decided to crash the app on. So let's just see what happens. So Coastline, it seems, is also a little bit smoother, but I can still see some stuttering on my MacBook screen over there. Whereas my phone, of course, it's running this thing like maybe at 30 FPS-ish, maybe. If I were to guess, it's around 30 to 45 FPS. So it's not terrible, but again, it's also not the best. I mean, this phone's a few years old already, so. It's about to turn 3 actually in November. Well, the actual model itself. Mine specifically does not turn 3 until December the 22nd. Let's see. Looks like it's loading this time. Okay. It's promising. But I'm not going to hold on to hopes that it's gonna last. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it's super duper stuttery. Oh, ugh. Yeah, it's a lag fest. It's an absolute lag fest. And you guys can see that there on screen. Ouch. Yep, that's a lag fest. And, I mean, see, I can't really blame it either, because this is, after all, a developer software, and also not only that, it's laggy because this phone is a few years old already, so. I mean, I can't really blame it, because this is using, like, real high-scale graphics, so, I mean, I can't blame it that it crashed the first time. Here we go. Yeah, looks like it's actually deciding to run, which is nice. So it is running. So that first test could have just been a fluke. And I'm most likely going to cut that out as well because I don't want to just have you guys see me waste my time. So I am probably going to cut that out. So yeah, if you guys don't see that in the video, that's probably why, because I cut it out. Because I want to make this video as short as possible. I don't want to keep you guys around for so long. At least, just like watching my video. Because I mean, I do appreciate it if you have watched the whole way through, but still, yeah, I don't want to keep you guys like around forever. So I'm going to be basically doing that once this test has concluded. It looks like we're at about 50% right now, so now it just has to test the RAM speed and everything else about the RAM, and then after that it's going to test the CPU and the user interface. So both of those should be relatively easy tests. So yep, we are just going through the random access memory, now we're going through storage, and it's going to go through a few other things most likely, and we're already above 50% in terms of its tests, so, or in terms of completion. Now it's at 54, so that's nice. Now it's going ROM sequential read, so now we just have to wait for that, and yeah, I mean, at that point, we're basically on our way to having the CPU be tested. Now it's reading the random read, which is good, for the ROM at least. But yep, we just have to wait for that. Looks like we're at 58%, which is not bad. And let's see. Looks like it's still on random read. So it might just take a second for it to finish up random read. Maybe more than a second, obviously, because yeah, now a second has passed. Several seconds have, so just waiting on this. Let's see. Looks like it is still stuck on random read. I wonder why. There it goes, database. Okay. Oh wow, that jumped all the way from 58 to 62. Now it's already on to 64. Okay. It's going pretty quick now. Looks like it was just stuttering on the random read there for the ROM. But it is going pretty darn quick now, actually. That's already at 66. Just has to make it to 100%, and then after that we can see the results. 70%, okay, now it just has to decode a PNG, which is not hard. 2D physics engine, not hard, already passed that. Multi-threading, a little bit more of a difficult task, but I'm sure the A11 can take it. Looks like here is multi-threading still, 76%. Multitask now, which again is not that hard. I'm sure the A11 can handle it just fine. So then, yep, here we go. We are going to be hopefully moving on to another thing here now. Yep, here we go. 78% 3D physics engine. This one's a little bit more challenging because it's actually also, I'm sure, taking use of the GPU as well. Here we go. Wow, that was quick. 80%. Now we're on to the user experience or user interface. Secure message. And there was that first one I missed as well. Oh, here we go. Wow. Yeah, it's going pretty quick now. It's already on JSON processing. And now it's just scrolling through just the random stuff, of course. That's, again, not me touching it, the display. That's just it doing by itself. So, yep, just have to wait for this. And then it's just going to conduct a few more tests. And after that, we should be ready to go. So, yep, now it's just going through a feed. It's like a rip-off version of an Instagram. That's funny. It's basically a rip-off Instagram app. That's pretty funny, I'd say. It's like, actually, no. It's like an Instagram and Twitter mixed into one. That's funny. It looks pretty funny, actually. But, I mean, that's part of the test that they have to run, so... And then now it just has to cut out a portion of it. Okay. Alright. There we go. Now it just has to scan QR codes, which is pretty darn easy. So it's going to scan those. It is on the third one, which is not bad at all. Scanning this one, and as the line goes down, the more complex these QR codes get. So, I mean, yeah, for sure, it's quite actually nice. There we go. and now it just has to decode the JPEG, or decode a JPEG. Now it's going to the image processing blur, and there we go. That's it. Okay, so it looks like we got a score of 197,135. We have a CPU score of 74,601. What am I saying today? A GPU score of 48,430, a memory score of 42,018, and a UX score of 32,086. So it's not bad at all. But in terms of ranking, let's see how that stacks up to last time. Because I believe last time we were in 23rd place. So let's see if my phone has gone down in performance, or if it has gone a little bit up in performance, or even stayed the same. Let's see here. So it looks like the average time is in 16th. My device, looks like, yeah, it stayed the same actually. So it's still in 23rd in terms of its ranking. Okay, that would make sense actually. And then, yeah, there's just basic information. Okay. My device user rating is 86%. That's still not bad, actually. Alright, well, that concludes this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like. Also, comment and subscribe if you're brand new to my channel. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.